Just multitasking.
I just hit broadcast and they are popping in.
Okay.
I'll let you know when it slows down a little bit.
Got it.
The third day in a row, I'm seeing your pretty face, Chris.
I'm sorry. Sorry that you get subjected to this over and over again. Have to keep talking to me. I know it gets tiresome.
Are there people in the other one right now? Because we're still climbing here.
Yeah, there's still people in the other one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have 47 people in the other one.
Chris, let's announce one more time.
Yeah. Do you want me? So for those of you, or I guess, are you doing it? Are you putting it in the chat, Kevin?
Yes, I put the Zoom meeting into the chat, the Zoom link. But I think there's 46 people that haven't heard the announcement yet.
Hey, so for those of you that are in the GoToMeeting, in the chat, there's a Zoom webinar. And so the GoToMeeting, the GoToTraining invite couldn't accommodate everybody that registered for this webinar. So we've extended it to a Zoom that fits more people. Kate popped a link into the chat. And so you guys should be able to see that link. Just go ahead and click on that. It should be live now. All right, thank you guys.
Chris, moving forward, you might want to mute yourself on one of them. So you have a big echo going on. So you might want to mute yourself on GoTo.
Okay. There we go. How's that?
Much better.
Okay. Cool. So if you guys, Kate, you think we're ready to get started?
Yeah, it's not as many people as registered. It's low. They're still popping on.
Okay, we can wait a few minutes.
I mean, we should have close to 300 and we're at 135, but it's also not moving up again anymore. So this is being recorded, obviously, and we could always share it after, but are you seeing our Q&A? Realtors are notoriously late for everything.
Yeah, I just saw that in the Q&A. It's like, you are actually right.
I'd say, I mean, we're at 5 after. I'd say get started. We could just share this after too if we need.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and get started then. And sorry, first off, I want to start with a quick apology for those of you that had to transfer calls over. We just weren't expecting that many people to register. At least I wasn't expecting that many people to register. So thank you all for wanting to come and learn about this. Really appreciate it. And today we're going to be talking about marketing automation through Impress for real estate services. So the great thing about marketing automation is we can actually make this a relatively short webinar because automation is automated, right? There isn't a lot for you to do to make it happen. So I'm going to walk through sort of what the process looks like, what some of the assets look like, and then we'll dive into a live account. I'll talk to you about a little bit of the information in a live account and some things that you can do from your account with automation and also manually, and any questions that you guys have, and hopefully we should be able to wrap this up well before an hour. So I'll just go ahead and jump in and get started. Marketing automation services for real estate. The basic magic of automation is this. So a new listing goes live on the MLS, and we're going to pick that up in our systems because we see all of the listings on the MLS. New listing goes live, and we're going to create automatically all of the marketing pieces that you're going to need for that listing, right? And so just listed postcards, just listed flyers, property brochures, all created right away for that listing, and then made available to you. Every time that listing changes status, so if there's a price reduction, an open house, or it sells, we're going to create new materials for that specific event with the information in the MLS automatically, right? And so say your listing goes in the market and you put an open house in today, you'll get a new email that has all of your open house materials ready to go. So social media posts, a postcard,
Anybody
a
that's still
brochure.
on the go-to meeting, the original go-to meeting, please look in the chat. There's a link here to go to the Zoom meeting. This meeting is now in Zoom. Please click on this meeting link and join this meeting in Zoom.
Okay, thank you for the PSA, Kevin. Moving on to the next one is, now that we've updated all those materials and all the targeted materials have gone out to everyone, you can go ahead and when the property,
Jan, can you hear me?
when the listing closes, you're going to be able to, right from there, have all the targeted materials created for promoting that just closed listing. Sorry about that other webinar going on in the background there, guys. The magic of automation is all of this stuff happens just because we see the status changing. And so we see the status changes in the MLS and are sending you information based on what your listing is doing, and you don't actually have to do anything to make that happen. So I'm going to show you an example of some of the materials. It's not the exact materials that are in all of your automation packages, because there are two. But I'm going to show you an example of what one of these emails looks like when a new listing goes live. And so basically you're going to get this. It's going to say, congratulations on your listing at 1234 Main Street, 123 Edgewood Drive, 132 Edgewood Drive, whatever that listing address is. And it's going to coach you right away. So the idea behind this is, this email is like an automated marketing coach. It comes to your inbox. It's already customized to your brand. It's designed to help you maximize the visibility of that listing, and to get out in front of clients so that you can win the next listing. So first thing that's going to pop on, it's going to say, hey, get the word out, get some impressions on this listing, show some people this listing right away. And so you'll have some activities that you can do right there from the email, and I'll show you a live version of one of these emails to start working with your listing right away. And then the pieces that come with the listing are really varied. So postcards, e-postcards, social media pieces, flyers, and also there are two brand versions of this. And so what I'm showing here is it just listed for a non-Homes of Distinction listing. Homes of Distinction, which I believe in your region starts at 750,000 and above, gets its own visual treatment. And so it's got its own really sleek visual treatment. And also Homes of Distinction listings have their own single property websites, which I think is really cool as well. And all of this, once that automated material is delivered to you, all of this is accessible for you in a branded marketing center. So you can go into the marketing center, see all of your created projects, and we call every time one of these automations kicks off a project. See all the created projects for your listings. You can go in and edit your projects, update them. If you want to change some of the photos or tweak one of the headlines, you can do all of that right from the marketing center. And you can also print directly from the marketing center as well as send items to your social media. And so really, really just one-stop center for being able to interact with this marketing material that was created for you instantly. So that's the headline for automation, what it does and how you receive it. But it's easier to show you than it is to tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to an actual email. And so this is an actual email that somebody received on their own marketing. And so this listing is 3 920 Davis Street. They received a marketing package, and you'll see here that the first 3 items are, hey, post this on Facebook, send some jumbo postcards, or send an e-card, right? And so to post this on Facebook is as easy as just going ahead and clicking in, and it's going to take us right to the ability to connect with Facebook. And Melody hasn't connected her account yet, but she would just click continue with Facebook, and she could post directly from this email. Next one is, say I wanted to send a postcard. I could click on, take a look at this jumbo postcard right here. And so it's got all the beautiful branding, my photos, the property remarks from the MLS, all of Melody's contact information are all right here pulled in automatically. And she can actually download this and print this right now. So she could download this file, take it to the local print shop and have them print out 100, 200 copies for her. Or she can go into the marketing center and send those to Quantum Digital and have them printed for her by Quantum. And then also, she has the ability to send an e-card straight from this email as well. And so she can just go ahead and grab this e-card and send that off to her clients. And it's got, once again, all of the listing information right in here. And so this is an example of a just sold, but I'm gonna go ahead and dive into her Marketing Center account, and we'll take a look at the whole automation package for this. So if I click in, this is Melody's Marketing Center. And so from the Marketing Center, if I wanted to see all the projects or listings that she had to come, that she has, I would click right here on the Projects tab. And so this is the most important tab of all of Impress. This is where you see all of the materials that are created for your listing automatically by the system. So to click on the Projects tab, you'll see here that she's got a few listings in here, and there's this little cog wheel for projects that were created. That just shows that an event happened and a project was created by automation. And so if I click on the name of this listing, it's going to show me all of the materials that were created for that listing. So the just listed flyer, broker open, just listed e-card, just listed postcard, a brochure, and a social media post were all automatically created for this listing when it went on the market. And so if I go ahead and click on one of these, I can actually, from here, preview and see exactly what it's going to look like. So here's the preview of that just listed flyer. I can also download a PDF of that just listed flyer right here. And I have a few different options. I can download a standard PDF, something that I could easily share online, or I can email to my client or other people in my sphere. I could download a commercial PDF that's got bleeds and crop marks on it so that I can send it to my commercial printer. Or I can get a high quality web image that I can send online or post on my website. And so it gives me a few options right out of the gate for how I want to interact with this piece of content by downloading it. But say I don't want to download it and I just want to go have it printed. It's as easy as me going over and clicking, hey, Quantum Digital, I want to have it printed. And here it's going to give me a disclaimer that says, hey, make sure all your information's correct. I just previewed it so the information's correct. I click OK, and that logs me right into my Quantum Digital account so that I can place an order. And so you'll see here, now I'm logged into Quantum Digital where I can order my prints. And so try to make it really, really easy for you to get the content that you want the way that you need it as quickly as possible with as few clicks as possible. Also, if I wanted to distribute this other ways, I can get a link to a hosted PDF as well as even a QR code image that I can use on my other content. And so we really want to make distribution of content really easy for you after it's automatically been created. So I'm going to go back to my projects tab, and here are all the listings that have gone on the market for Melody recently. So she's got all of her listings here. But say I want to edit one of these listings. I want to change some of the information on the listing, update all of the update some of the photos, modify how it looks. And so to be able to do that, I would just go to my listings tab, and that's going to have all of my currently active listings or past listings in here from the time we kick off automation. And so to be able to modify one of my listings, I'll just go ahead and click Manage. And that's going to bring me up the listing information, all of the data that came in from the MLS. And if I happen to know something about this listing that I want to have updated, or I've got a virtual open house scheduled and I haven't put it in the MLS yet, or I want to add some additional open house remarks, I can just go in, type those right into here, and then generate a new package for myself with the material, a new package of materials for myself with all of that information automatically pushed into that new package. Or if I decide, hey, you know, I'd love to change some of the photos in this listing that I'm showing on my brochures, or I want to upload some additional photos, I can manage all of my photos and listing images here. And so I can decide, hey, I've got a couple of high-res photos that I just took of the yard that are really beautiful. The original photos that I had were a little bit more fall. Now I've got some spring photos. And so I can actually add those additional photos here for use in my custom pieces going forward. One of the other cool things that I can do here is I can actually not just view my projects on this listing that have already been created, but say I want to create something for this listing now and maybe create an open house. I can click Create Project, and I can actually select the task, and let's say open house, click on that. And then I have my open house social post, my jumbo postcard, and my e-card right there. I can grab those and show them to my client so that they know exactly how I'm gonna market their open house, or they can see that content ahead of time before I actually put it into the MLS. So just another really cool way for me to do that. I can generate these designs automatically for myself. I can wait for the MLS status to change and receive the email where the system generates them for me as well. And so it gives you loads of flexibility there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop for a second here and see if we have any questions. Let me go ahead and take a look at the Q&A. Or the chat. Where's the Marketing Center located? And so to get to the Marketing Center, you can actually click right from the email. And so there's a button up at the top of the email that says, go to your Marketing Center. Or the other way to access the Marketing Center is there's a link on GoHanna for the Impress Marketing Center that'll SSO you into your account. Hey, Kate, for some reason I can't get into the Q&A. Can you tell me what some of those questions are?
Yes, I can. Does this mean we're not using Quantum? Never mind, I see it's okay. Will office admins have access to this as well?
And so some of the office admins are actually going to have admin accounts where they can go in and help you with your account. So we are in the process of building those out now. I think the majority of your office admins will have an account for that gives them access to everyone in your office for them to log in as you and help you out.
Can you create a flyer for a listing that's not your own?
Yes, you can. There is a way to do that.
2 questions that are pretty much the same. When is this available? When does it go live?
Okay, and so this is already available. So you guys are one of the middle regions that are launching. So a couple of regions launched before you. We're going to be turning automation on and making your accounts available to you guys on Monday.
Entering an open house in the MLS will trigger this as well, not only a status change.
Yeah, entering an open house in the MLS will also trigger this.
And then just the question on creating a flyer, that's, you said yes for a listing that's not your own.
Yep, and I'll show you how to do that. And I see a few other questions in the chat. Does the property need to be in the MLS, or can I create this package inserting a property manually? Yes, that's actually what I'll show you. And this is good for working with a listing that's not your own as well. Facebook and Instagram are not interchangeable. It's just going to be Facebook. They are not interchangeable. Are you able to edit agent information, for example, a team picture. And so actually we're going to make designs available. They won't be done via automation, but in the design center, and I can actually, or in the marketing center, and I can actually show you guys this. When you click on a brochure, we're actually going to give you the ability, and we're going to add these in as time goes on. We're going to add some additional designs that also include co-list and teams. And so you'll have to manually put the photo for co-listed agents, co-list agents, or your team photo into the design. But we will make those designs available in time in the marketing center. And so initially we're just going to be launching the automation. But after that, you'll be able to have those designs where you can edit these manually to include a team or co-listing in the future. What is the cost to agents, and is it free? So it is not free to Howard Hanna, the company. The company is sponsoring, paying for this for all of you guys. There is no additional incremental cost to you as the agent, from what I understand. And so Howard Hanna is paying for this, but I don't think they're charging for it. If your listing is coming soon right now, it's not going to kick off automation. It's only when it's live on the MLS. Will there be a formal training on how to use this? We are having a formal training on how to use this, Brett. Okay, and so I'm going to jump back over to the listings tab to answer one of the questions that came up. And so actually two of the questions, hopefully. One is how to create an automation package for a listing that isn't your own, or could you use this to market somebody else's listing? And the answer is yes. And so you could, one, search the MLS ID, search for your own listings by MLS ID if this list is too long and you want to recreate something. Or if you want to create a listing from scratch, you just click this create new listing, and you can actually enter the information manually here. And so it gives you the ability to enter the information for the listing, upload photos, and then once you have that listing created, you can do anything. You can do anything that you could with a pre-existing one. So let's say I created a listing for 1234 Main Street. I would be able to go in, click manage, and from there I could create a full marketing kit for that listing for just listed, open house, a price reduction, or just sold. Meaning that if I walk into a listing presentation, I could potentially walk into a listing presentation with all of my listing marketing for that property in hand, essentially. And so that's one of the best ways that I've seen people leverage this is not only using the automation to market the listings that you have, but using the materials that can be created by the system to win the next listing. By walking into the listing presentation with all the materials ready, showing exactly how you would market somebody's home with an actual picture of their home is way more powerful than just talking to them about how you would do it. All right, and so from here, I'm gonna pop over and see if there are any other questions in the chat. If the agent orders material through Quantum, is there a fee for those services to the agent? Yes, and so if you're buying from Quantum, then it's gonna be just like a regular Quantum order. So whatever cost is associated with your order is gonna stay the same. If your listing goes live with only one picture, does the creation wait for pics? And so it will create the content with a single image, and you can actually go in and modify that. But if more images pop up on the MLS, those will also be available in the system.
Chris, I've got a few too over here. Is there anything specific to do to change the primary photo?
Yeah, you would just go in and edit the project, and so I'll show you how to do that. So I'll go to my projects tab and say, for example, on this flyer, I wanted to edit the primary photo. I would just say, okay, this is a project created by automation. I would hit save and continue. it would take me to photos, and then it's got photo 1, photo 2, photo 3, photo 4. I can add, remove, or swap any of these photos if I want to. So if I decided I wanted to change what photo 1 was, I could just trash that and upload a new photo and replace it. Or I could grab a photo from the MLS that I like better and use that instead. And so all of my photos for the MLS are actually going to be pulled right in to my project, so I can actually select a new photo from the MLS or upload one of my own if I have a high-res version that looks better.
I think you answered. Is there a cost for postcards?
Yeah, there is a cost, and so there is a cost for postcards. If you're ordering through Quantum, there is a cost that is going to apply. I know that in some areas that there are, I believe, up to 50 postcards that some areas receive. I don't know exactly what it is for all of the franchises, but if you order through Quantum, there is a charge for ordering through Quantum. But also any sort of freebies that are associated with your account or credits that are associated with your HANA account will exist in here as well. So it's basically the exact same ordering process that you would have normally through Quantum Digital.
Is this free for commercial properties which are not on the MLS?
What's that?
Wait, is this free for commercial properties which is not on the MLS?
Commercial properties aren't going to pull, we're not going to pull anything in for commercial properties. I don't know if I fully understand the question, but if you wanted to potentially create something for a commercial property manually in the system, you'd be able to do that.
And then where on GoHana is this?
And GoHana, I believe it's under marketing, but Kevin, could you chime in and remind us where in GoHana this is?
It will be under marketing after Monday. One of the clarifications I'd like to make on this is, a lot of people have been asking about cost. This product, think of it as the production of the piece, of the pieces, I should say. So it automatically creates all of the different pieces, and then whether you want to share an e-card or anything like that, the social media image, anything like that, obviously you just do it right through the system. Anything printed obviously has a printing cost involved. You could download the PDF and go down to the local printer and have it printed. Of course, there's a cost. If you want to go through Quantum, there's a printing cost. So think of it as this thing takes all of your listings and it literally creates all of the pieces for you. It's really amazing. But in terms of cost, yeah, the production piece of it, there's a little bit of a cost there. So hopefully that kind of helps the understanding of the product a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. All right, do we have any other questions that came in? I see one more. If I have a property that goes live tomorrow, will I receive a notification for this marketing packet? Or am I out of luck because it's before Monday? You're not going to receive a notification tomorrow, but on Monday when we turn all of this information on, it will be available in the marketing center. So your full automation kit will be available for you for that listing, and any listings that you have in a currently active state, we're going to create an automation kit for.
Hey, Chris, this is a question from me, actually, and just a clarification. Are they going to start seeing emails from past listings from like a?
You will see some emails from past listings, yeah, and so some of your recent listings will kick off an email, and you may also see a couple emails from listings that are in sort of an ambiguous status. So if they're active and something changed on the MLS recently, we may kick off an automation email for that. So in the first couple of days, you'll probably receive a few of these emails. I would be expecting to see them. And then after that first tranche of emails goes out, it's every time one of your listings changes status in the MLS, we usually pick that up within about 2 hours of the status change happening, or when a listing goes live. then you'll really be able to know exactly when to expect them. At the beginning, it is a little bit weird when we kick off the automation the very first time, because it may pick up some straggler listings or ones in a weird status. So just expect to see that. And then all of your listings that are in an active status will be available right here under the listings tab in the Marketing Center, as well as under projects. Does that answer your question, Kevin?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. All right. I see we've got a few more in the Q&A, and then that's pretty much all I've got to walk through. Like I said, it's automation, so it's pretty straightforward. But I'd be glad to answer whatever other questions people have.
So I think if Kevin's still on, I think a lot of these questions are going to be for both of you. He might have to answer some. Will the Howard Hanna franchise logo show up automatically?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 of those questions. Kevin, are you seeing some of these? Will the just listed, just sold postcards go out automatically, like how they are right now?
So yeah, I can answer that one, Kate.
Thank you.
The just sold postcards, we haven't had just listed, but we do have the just sold postcards are still going out for you as an agent. That's a separate product from what you're seeing here today. So, so the short answer is yes, but it is just sold postcards, not just listed.
I'm assuming, will Q mail postcards for you? Is that Quantum? Will Quantum mail postcards for you?
Yeah, the answer is yes. Quantum can mail postcards for you.
That's all of them for me, Chris, if you want to read anything in the chat.
Okay, and so there were a couple in the chat. One was, can the colors can be changed? Example from Hannah green to black. And I think if we allowed that in the system, the Hannahs would smite me. So we don't allow that. Unfortunately, and so fortunately, it's pulling in all of the branding automatically for the company. So you can't change the colors, but it is an automated creation. So we can't really apply sort of custom palettes to that.
And let me add to that, Chris, because it brings up a good question and a really good point. And the great thing about Moxie Impress is that it's an automated thing that you really don't have to think twice about. You know, can you go in and update a photo if you need to? Absolutely, you can. But the power behind this is that you have a handful of pieces that are automatically created, almost as soon as you hit that listing into the MLS, and you can advertise your property and get back to selling without missing a beat. You don't have to worry about calling marketing. You don't have to have somebody that maybe works for you creating a flyer. It's all done. And that's really the special piece of this product, is that it's instant and you're done. So that's what really excites me about this. We're always looking for products to help the agents go out and do business and not worry about these extra little steps. So hopefully that's what you'll find out of this product.
Yeah. And that's really our goal behind creating it in the first place, is to essentially serve up the pieces to you on a silver platter so that you can market your listings how you want without having to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours drafting up a cool flyer or a cool postcard, or calling back and forth to find somebody to design something for you, or even having to sit with somebody in the office and work on a design. We want to make it so that stuff's just done so that you can spend time with your clients winning more business.
See a question here. It says, where is project? So Tina, you won't be able to see any of what you're seeing on the screen here until after Monday, when everything is turned on, and then you'll start getting emails that you can click through, and there will also be a link on GoHanna under the marketing dropdown.
And one thing I mentioned, but I just wanted to make sure and reinforce, For those of you that are members of the Homes of Distinction or have Homes of Distinction qualified listings, we actually create a Homes of Distinction branded package specifically for those that has a little bit more of a luxury look and feel. So for those of you that are listing Homes of Distinction listings, I think that's also another huge benefit. And I really like the way that the Lux package looks. And so you'll actually see a different style of automation package on those luxury listings as well. So it's really cool that we can actually apply that automatically based on the price point, which I believe is $750,000 and above. Cool. All right, we had a few more questions in the chat, and then I think we're all set. Hopefully the branding will be user-friendly. Okay. In Engage, if an agent has added an agent logo, will these pieces pick that up from Engage along with the Howard Hanna logo? No, and so it's going to pick up automatically the franchise logo and your photo. If you have a personal logo, you can actually manually add those into a project, and I glossed past this earlier, but there is a space for you to add your own personal logo as well, but you would have to edit the project to do that. We don't do that through automation. And Kentha, I see your comment about Teams. Very similarly to what I mentioned with the personal logos, we're going to be adding in versions of these automation designs that are team image friendly as well. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for the time. If there are any other questions, I think we can safely call it here.
Chris, thanks for showing us today to our agents. I'm sure they're going to love this. I know that we've already launched it in a couple other regions throughout the company, and we've heard nothing but great things about it. And it really just helps you win more business. So looking forward to all the great feedback. And so thanks again for your time today. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me, and thank all of you for taking the time to attend and hear me out about this. We're really excited to kick off the automation, so keep an eye out for those emails hitting your inbox on Monday. And also, if you have questions when it comes to how to use tools in Impress, please feel free to reach out to the Moxie support team. We work with all of this just like all the rest of the tools that we provide. And so our support reps are also experts in Impress. Please feel free to reach out to them if you have questions. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye, everybody.